Good morning. Thanks you guys for being here. I wasn't sure if anyone would come after I've been gone so much. So let's just, I know. Well, let's just turn inward when you're ready. Just take a few long, slow, deep breaths. Most of us don't use our full lung capacity, but you can develop a fuller, deeper breath just by focusing on it and trying to fill completely and empty completely. And if it helps, you can even put a hand on your chest and your belly just to encourage a deeper breath and a deeper exhalation as well. And now just allow your breath to go back to a normal level, but notice how it feels a little more complete just by that little bit of focus you put on it. As when I was in Colorado last weekend, I've always loved the mountains and they're just so beautiful, but I especially love to look at them early in the morning and then at sunset because there's so many beautiful shadows and the bright light that, during sunset that shines on them and actually during sunrise. So you see the light and the dark together and it's just really beautiful. And sometimes we forget that in ourselves that there's light and there's darkness in each of us. And that's what makes us beautiful as well. We have to embrace all parts of us. Please bring hands to heart center. May we all learn to appreciate all aspects of ourselves. May we feel the grace that surrounds us every day. Please lower your hands, open your eyes, and just lean back and stretch your legs wide. Kind of lift your heart. Ugh. Inner thigh stretch. Good. And then if you want a little more stretch, you can hold forward a little bit. I'm just gonna stretch everything out today. Good. And then come on back up and transition to all fours and just start moving through a few cat and cow. And just go slow. really focus in on lengthening, stretching things out in there. I know a lot of us have been traveling. Let's just get everything. If you close your eyes, you might feel even a little deeper. And then transition to like a hula hoop action in your waist. So side to side, up and down, kind of working things out, feeling your shoulder joints, your hip joints, and then switch direction. Good. And then pause. I'm going to have you grab your blocks and bring them under your hands. And then just extend your right leg straight back. Really engage your core. You're a little bit higher, so it feels different. Maybe your leg doesn't get as high. And then bring that foot off to the right side. Ooh. And just feel that. Yeah, I got it. And then just kind of move a little bit forward and back, feeling that inner thigh, feeling your foot, feeling the outer hip as well. Good. Now, slide your blocks forward of your shoulders just a little bit. And then I'm going to have you walk that foot out to the outside of the block. Make sure your kneecap and toes point the same direction. Your hips are square to the front. Your shoulders are square to the front. Hug heel to knee so you're not right on top of your kneecap. Yeah. You hug that knee forward. It feels good. And then just keep your left hand on the block. Bring your right hand to your knee. And just engage a little twist to your right. Long spine. Good. And then come on back down. Curl the right toes under, or the left toes under, and lift the back knee. Just a little stretch there. You can stretch out your toes, lift and lower your heel a little bit. Not a lot. Good. And then go ahead and lower the knee again. And if you want more stretch, feel free to lower to the blocks. A humble pose. Again, it's not necessary. You can stay on your hands if that's enough stretch without lowering anymore. And breathe. Sometimes we get into these poses and we forget to breathe when they're deep. And then come on up on your hands again and somehow swing that leg back around, and we'll switch sides. So extend the left leg, feel the core, the belly draws up, rib cage is back, and then swing it off to the left side. One side will feel different than the other. Move forward and back if that feels good. And then check to make sure your hands are slightly in front of your shoulders because you're going to step that foot to the outside of the block for that humble position. Feel that stretch. You'll feel it in your hip flexor, inner thigh, everywhere really. And then keeping your right hand on the block, bring your left hand to your knee or thigh and just a little twist. Lengthening your spine. And then unwind, hand down, lift the back knee. If that feels good. Lift and lower the heel slightly. Stretch out those toes. And then lowering the knee, lower on down to your elbows. If that feels good, you can stay up. And noticing your breath. One more breath. And come on back up to your hand. Swivel that foot around and go ahead and extend the right leg again. And come on up to your knee. And just kind of feel that. Extend your left arm and arc towards that side. Gate pose. Come on back up. And it always feels good to bring that other hand down. Turn the toes up and just open your heart a little bit. That's it. Good. Oh, big stretch. And then come on down to the blocks to switch. It's easier to feel the block supporting you, get that good alignment, and then come on up. Stretch the right arm up and arc. Noticing the length in your spine. Good, and then bring the hand down, turn the toes up, open your heart. And breathe. And come on down. Hands to the blocks again. Curl your toes under and just kind of walk your blocks back towards your knees and see if you can sit on your heels. I know my feet, my knees, everything's really tight. We'll see how that feels. Quads, there. Okay, then try this. Bring your hands to the block, keeping the toes curled under, lift your knees. Bring your feet flat and come to a forward fold. Woohoo! And if it doesn't work for you to do that, just come up however you can. Yeah. Feel your feet firmly planted. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Bring your hands to your knees. And push up to chair position. Bring hands to heart center. Good. Think low belly up. long spine. Now bring your right hand to your hip, bring your left hand to the outer knee, and just twist to your right a little bit. Don't crank yourself, just keep everything stable, just a little twist. And then unwind back to center. And when you feel stable, again, left hand to the hip, right hand to the outer knee, twist to your left. Breathe. I know your legs are burning because mine are. Come back to center. Press into your feet and stand up. Stretch your arms up. What a relief. And bring hands down through heart center. Now standing with your feet hip distance, your feet firmly planted. Just start to swim a little bit. You can pretend like you're breathing if you want. Crawl. Good. And then stop and start the backstroke. It's gonna warm everything up. Good. And then stop. Bring your arms to T and just inner spiral your right arm and outer spiral your left. And then switch. And keep doing that. Right up all the shoulder area. Good. Good. And then reach the arms up and bring your hands down through heart center. Good. Now, just you're all away from your block so you won't fall on. We're going to do tree pose. So stand on your right foot, lift your left heel, and then just swivel that knee out. And then if you want to go deeper, you can bring it below the knee or maybe above the knee. And stretch your arms up if you like. Think strong core. And release. Good. Which side? The heel first. Swivel the leg out and then just take time to really notice your core and then transition. Keep breathing and release. Done. Good. Now bring your feet close side by side. And if that doesn't feel stable, if you need to, you can widen them a little bit. Just want you to experience this. Stretch your arms up. Notice how your legs have to work a little bit harder. Good. And then bend into chair pose again. You can even hug your knees together if that helps. Notice your core. Bring your right hand to your hip, left hand to the knee for the twist. Come back to center. It's way harder, I think. Maybe it's easier for you. Switch sides. And back to center. And then reach down and touch your block. And wiggle your feet back apart to the hip distance. And then bring your knees down back to that position where you're seated on your heels. Really giving your toes a workout. Yeah, and if it doesn't work for you, it's okay. And a couple breaths. And then hands back to the blocks. Just bring them all the way forward. Come up to a downward facing dog. And just walk your dog out. Feel shoulder blades on the back, clavicles broadening, really nice hollow armpits, long back of neck. Beautiful, you guys. And then please walk your feet forward. You can go slow and end up with them right between your blocks, hip distance apart, forward fold. And just pause there. Feel your legs. And then slowly roll all the way up to standing. Stretch your arms up. And exhale, bring hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Flip your right foot back to that deep lunge position. A little different than what we did before because your hips are square to the front and so are your shoulders. And your knees and your heel, your knee, your sits bones are aligned. Good. And then lower the back knee. Hug to the midline. Hands to the knee so you can just stretch up and make your way to Anjane Asana. Good. And then touch down. Right hand stays on the block. Bring your left hand to your thigh and lift the back knee or a little bit deeper twist. Good. And unwind. Lower the, or lift, keep the knee lifted to step back to the down dog. And then extend the right leg just to feel a three-legged dog, keeping the hips square, shoulders square. Feel it in your hamstring. And then step that foot through to deep lunge on the other side, or you can step forward and step that foot back. Lower the back knee when you're ready. Check your alignment. Stretch up Anjane Asana. Good. Bringing your left hand to the block, right hand to the thigh. Lift the back knee if you want. And twist. And then untwist, touch the right hand down and step back. Downward facing dog. And please extend the left leg. Feel the hips square, the shoulders square. And step that foot through, deep lunge. And please step forward. Forward fold. And slowly, one vertebra at a time, roll up to standing. And stretch your arms up. Hands to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. Check your balance. Feel that deep, full breath. Good. And open your eyes, stretch up. And exhale, fold forward. Pranam this time. And fold. Inhale, step right foot back, deep lunge. Now you're really going to take your time here, and if you need to, lower the back knee, because you're going to come upright. Feel stable enough, maybe, that you can extend your arms, crescent warrior. Back leg has to stay super engaged, using all parts of your front foot. Good. Bring hands to heart center now. Slide the left hand to your hip, right hand to the outer knee, keeping the hips square to the front. Twist to your left. Good. Not so easy. Unwind and touch down. Good job. Step forward. And step your left foot back. Deep lunge. Now you know where we're going. Just make sure you have that alignment where you want it before you come up. Really feel the front foot firmly planted, back leg engaged. Extend the arms. Hip stays square, right hip crease stays back. Good. Hands to heart center. Take your time, because if you move too fast, you'll lose your balance. Right hand to the hip, left hand to the outer knee, and twist. Feel free to lower the back knee if you're not feeling stable. One more breath. And unwind and touch down. Good. Step back. Downward facing dog. Lower your knees and take a child's pose. Notice your heart rate. And then come on up to, it's just to move your blocks out to the side for a moment and make your way to downward facing dog. Hopefully it feels good. Being firmly on your hands. And just walk your dog out again. Awesome, you guys. And then come forward to plank pose. Broaden the clavicles, feel stable front and back. Lengthen up through the top of your head. Good. And then you can either lower your knees to lower down or lower down through chaturanga to the mat. Good. And then just come up on your forearms. And maybe with your elbows slightly in front of your shoulders. and your hands a little bit wider than shoulders. So this is Sphinx pose as we know it. I'm going to have you push into all parts of your hand and lift your elbows. Feel that stretch. Hopefully it feels really good. If it doesn't, you can just stay in Sphinx. And then lower the elbows back down. Slide the hands back by your chest. And then 3 times lift to a cobra. Use your breath. Just kind of feeling it out. Allowing that spine to move freely. But supporting it with your shoulders and your legs. Good. And then again, push all the way up and back to downward facing dog. And walk your feet to your hands again. And if you want to, grab your blocks, bring them in by your feet. And inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. And let's just do one more sun salute. So inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Step your left foot back to a deep lunge. Ground that back foot down. And then make your way up to a warrior 2. Take your time. See how it's feeling today. Strengthen your core. Just kind of move forward and back to see how stable you feel. Good, because I'm going to have you go into a reverse warrior. So left arm down, right arm up and over. Keep the front knee bent. And hold. And breathe. One more breath. And come back to warrior 2. And then windmill down. Turn the back heel up and step back. Downward facing dog. Extend the left leg. Keeping the shoulders square to the floor. Bend the left knee and then stack left hip on right hip. So you're opening up your hips. Maybe reaching back with that left foot into space. Wild doggy. Good. Square up the hips. Beautiful, you guys. And step it through. Deep lunge. Round the back foot down. Come up. Warrior 2. Take your time. Noticing both feet firmly planted, your strong core, maybe move forward and back. See how stable you are. Is the weight in both feet? Good, and then reverse it. Right arm down, left arm up, and over. Breathe. Last breath. And come back. Warrior 2. And please windmill down. Turn the back heel up, step back. Downward facing dog. And of course, You know where we're going. We have another side of wild dog to do. So extend the right leg, keeping the left shoulder integrated, bend the right knee, open the hips, reach back. Since we're doing twists, this is definitely a twist. You hadn't realized it. Good. Square up the hips. Step that foot through, deep lunge. Good job. Ground the back foot down again. Walk your hands to the left, right to the middle. Turn your right foot in. And then just kind of check to see, maybe you need to bend your knees a little bit. Maybe you need the blocks under your hands. That's totally fine. And then once you feel even in your feet, just fold forward to a place where it feels like a good stretch for you. Oh. And then coming up onto your hands right under your shoulders or on the blocks or even on fingertips. Just bring your right hand to your hip and engage a little twist. You might have to bend the right knee a little bit or the left knee a little bit to get that twist in, or just keep them straight if it feels okay. Long spine. One more breath. And unwind and switch. Left hand to the hip. Maybe right knee bends a little bit to engage that twist. You decide. Good, and then unwind. Being stable on your hands, swivel your heels in and bend your knees so that the knees and the toes point the same direction. I don't know, mine are about 30 degrees, but you'll have to notice. And then bring your hands to your thighs and come upright. Draw your low belly up, lengthen your spine. Maybe bring hands to heart center in goddess pose. Think strong quads and glutes. Yeah, this is it. Ooh. Nice, you guys. One more breath. And then fold forward again. Straighten out your feet. Prasarita. Wide-legged forward fold. And then walk your hands back towards your right foot as you turn it out. Turn the left heel up and come to deep lunge there. And then step back to a downward facing dog. I like to bend my knees. Really feel nice and long through my spine. Run the clavicles. And then either child's pose or you can do vinyasa with me. So if you're doing a vinyasa, come forward to plank. Lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. And downward facing dog. And let's do that one more time. Inhale to plank. If you're doing that, you can stay in child's pose. Lower. Cobra, or even up dog if that's in your wheelhouse. Strong on your shoulders. And downward facing dog. Take a few breaths there. And then please lower your knees. Swivel your feet to one side so you can come to a seated position. And take that wide stance again. If you want to turn sideways on your mat so your heels stay on the mat, you could do that. And then just kind of bring your hands behind you. You can inner spiral if you need to. I always have to see, am I really on my sits bones? It's like I pull up on the butt leg. And then nice and tall. Good. And then just walk your hands a little wider. Fold forward a little bit. Keep your right hand where it is. Bring your left hand on the inside of that right leg. And then turn and face that outstretched leg. And then if you can keep the left leg grounded and stable, you can fold deeper if you'd like. You can even reach that left hand towards the foot. Upavista, Pavrita Upavista Konasana. That's the name of this pose. Good. And one more breath. Come on up, bring that left hand clear over to the other side. Reach the right hand. Oh, they're on either side of your leg, and then just kind of turn so you're facing that leg. You're not leaning, you're just facing that leg. You can feel that opposite leg grounded. And then maybe fold deeper and breathe. Most importantly, and then come on back up. Your hands behind you so you can slide your legs together and then bend the knees. You can slide to the middle of your mat if you want. So we have to do, you can stay with your feet on the ground, or you can lift your shins parallel to the ground, or you can stretch the legs all the way because we're going to be here for a while. So Navasana, whatever you want. Think, lean back, use lots of core, and then bring both hands to the right side. Feel those strong. You can even squeeze your feet together if that helps. And then come back through center, both hands to the left side. And then come back to center and come on down. Good job. Just lay down on your mat. And just bring your feet nice and wide. Arms in goalpost positions. And then just start doing some windshield wipers. Back and forth. Fast or slow as you want. You can turn linger where you want if that's necessary. And then when you've had enough, bring your feet right under your knees. Bring your right ankle over your left thigh. And maybe you want more stretch, interlace behind the thigh. You can keep your head and shoulders grounded. Think long spine. I keep my right foot flexed just because it feels safer for my knee. I want this to be a hinge and just open that hip. Good, and then release that foot to the floor. Stretch the right leg up towards the ceiling, interlace behind. If you want to, stretch the left leg long, and then just rotate your ankle, flex and point a few times. And then setting that right foot down, switch with the left ankle over right knee. Interlace if you'd like. I like to do it in front of my shin because I have nice open hamstrings and hips, but you don't have to do that. You can do it behind your thigh or not at all if you're getting enough stretch in that leg and hip. And then release that right foot to the floor, interlace behind the left thigh. Straighten both legs if you want. If you can feel a curve in your low back and your right hip's grounded, that's a good stretch for you. You have really open hamstrings. If not, keep the knee bent. The right knee, that is. Flex and point or rotate that ankle. And release. And hug both knees in. And even round your low back, so press it in. So you can bring maybe your tailbone up and your head and shoulders towards your knee like you're in a little ball. And then release back down. Bring your feet to the floor and let the knees open wide for Supta Baddha Konasana. Notice your deep, full breath. Closing the knees, stretch out for Shavasana. If you need to cover up, you can. Or if you like a little cush, put the blanket underneath you. And then allow your breath to just take you deeper to your relaxing position. Okay. Every exhale is another opportunity to let go a little. Good. Your muscles relax. Feels like they release their grip on the bones. Especially in the jaw, shoulders, pelvis. Sometimes I'm afraid that if I show my love, my vulnerability, my fear, then I will be in danger. What a sad misunderstanding that is. For only when I show my love can I be truly seen. Only in letting down my guard can I appear to others in the light of my true self. Only in my softness does my tenderness reveal itself. Only in my defenselessness does my true safety lie. I pray to be a gentler version of myself. Let's start to find that nice, long, slow, deep breath. Making movements when you feel ready. Eventually drawing your knees in and rolling to the right. Just rest there for a moment before you push on up to seated. Just bring hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing. Appreciate it. And you guys at home too. Have a fabulous weekend.